So I take notice. Out here, when they bring the kids out here, the teachers cannot believe it. How they adapt to this kind of life.
Yeah.
And then now they try to bring the kids more often. It helped us a lot though. We line them up like soldiers in a mud. March across, bury all the weeds.
Yeah. And we can take them hiking too, yeah, go up to the falls. Not all the way in, but anyway, take them out. They look the plants and we show them the alien species like that, yeah.
And then not only that, like come like June once in the summer, all our baby shrimps and all food hatches in the ocean. And the Terrapack is like a nursery for them. So that's why we gotta get the water going by today or tomorrow. And that when they start hatching, then they come up in the lower areas like the nursery. So they get big water in the river, they get wiped out again. But they come up, they stay here for about 2 months. And then they start marching back upstream. That's like a cycle, like something like salmon. So this is the kind of stuff we started, we found out. And that's what we do here. We kind of educate the farm and the kids who ever come. And we show them, we grab the little scoop net, and we scoop right by the water, you can see all the shrimps. How I found that out was, about 10, 15 years ago, when the water went off by itself. No, I turned it off, right? I turned the water off to release. Then I see millions of shrimps and all. When I see that, I opened the water again, and I left them. And then I started checking them. I think when they come just a little big, about 2 months, they all start marching back to the pipe, right back. So kind of like the loy is like a nursery. They can all go home safely. In the river, like I said, get big water. A lot of prawns in the river, so hard for the shrimps to get out there. So kind of like the Terrapack is important. We educate the people. Then we go to the ocean sometimes. We show them how to plant seaweed, which nobody doing nowadays. And we go around the islands, give different groups, Molokai, Middle Reef, or Kauai, where we get meetings, we talk about preserving and monitoring OPs and all that. And how fast they grow, and what type of OP, what type of limo, how you prepare them and all that. So these I find is an interesting part.
Do you have any fish, do you do any fish ponds down here?
In Ohana we have some, it's coming out, but not much fish ponds around here. Mostly we try to like raise the fish in the ponds or try to control our fishermen not to take too much, because the way it's dissolving nowadays. So we kind of training all our fishermen, they're the worst enemy, yeah? Once they can catch, they're gonna catch per land, and that's what you don't want. So we get guys that help us to protect the fish. We're kind of like sometimes the very guys that were responsible is the very guys go in the back of our back instead of catching the fish. So we gotta watch our own people like that. So, but it take time, man. You gotta train the young guys to feel. I take notice, the younger generation, like the teenagers, the ones who's on fishing, they catch on fast. They like that. So then the younger kids down, that's the one they need to learn that as they're coming up. Out there we come to the ocean, just the ocean. Not knowing that certain fish feed on certain seaweed, and certain fish feed on fish. So all that.
And got the buoy.
And then we have the deep water fishermen, where I have my brothers, my nephews, they all go out in boats. Have a son, have a commercial boat, where they go out, they catch tuna and all. And then they put in their own buoys. Other fishermen come from other places are coming in, and then they start grumbling that they start getting all kind of trouble. Then when they get jealous, then somebody go out and cut all the buoys. So they get the state involved, but they have a big thing going. So now I guess the state get involved, and everybody's trying to work together with each other. So the other fishermen on the other side of the island, we kind of telling them stay in their own aquafor, learn how to put their own buoys, no depend only on the state. So our fishermen here, we make our own. Yeah? Every time we find nets in the ocean or ropes, we take them apart, and we all work together and put up our own buoy. Deadly, because we know how to set the thing, what kind of places. So fast the fish come. And Noah and all these guys, they go there and monitor the fish. And they monitor the state buoy, but the state buoy, they don't dress the buoy up with nets and stuff. When the little fish go in there, the big fish attack them, they all hide in the net. That's what keep the big fish around.
Oh.
The state buoy don't have that much. This one, the regular buoy, the little skirts is about it. But ours, we kind of put the skirts all the way down, maybe about 100 feet under. And we were doing the kind where you sink the buoy, so we cannot find them. But nowadays they get the GPS to find anything and they screw. Oh, yeah. Oh, this guy, this Ohana guy is changed. Huh? They get him 100 feet down. But we get that going too, so we kind of like organizing, putting all that together, how we can all work together with the fishermen. Like for us, we have one small ahopua. The mountain is right next to the sea. So we can make luau one day. We get the pigs, we get everything, you know, the fruits, the breadfruit, beer our year. So kind of like that up here. And another interesting thing, we find out this past 10, 15 years, the fruit tree is being buried more often. They used to bear once a year. Now they bury 4, 5 times a year. Mountain apples about 3, 4 times. The breadfruit about 5, 6 times a year. Used to be once.
Really?
So it's the season change. And a lot of the guys who plant don't know. We come to the festival time. All the guys in Hana who have 100-something variety of breadfruit came from all over the Polynesian island. But they don't have breadfruit during that kind of thing, festival. So only us have. And it's like the trees been, like I said, this side of the island been bearing a lot. Some people say the end of the world. For me, I think it's a good sign. God give it more.
Maybe we still can ship it, on containers, in containers to those countries.
Something like that.
We got so much breadfruits and
But in case the people starving, we allow them. We can help.
and then we live in an organic place, so you get to learn that parts too,
Yeah, our community.
Tell them about that. Over here we don't use fertilizer.
Well, like right here, we're using the old ways. Like all the grass and weeds you see in the patch, we just bury them under the mud. And then in about a week, you see that mud swells up, and then it cooks the weeds under the mud. And when you kind of like stir them around again about a week later, you see all that weeds just burn, like when you burn fire, turn into charcoal. And that's the nitrogen that feeds the area. So you get certain plants like the kukui tree, the how leaves, all that, when it rots, it's real good fertilizer. Certain trees.
Huh.
So that's what we do here. And then we throw seaweed in, opihi shells, we throw them in Hawaii. And in about 3 months, the opihi shell, just a kind, naturally, like when you make jewelry, the water, this water sand coming through the pipe, it kind of cleans the opihi shell. In a year, from you can see right through like a glass. In about a year, the thing dissolve into minerals, and that's why we find it help with terror. The University of Hawaii was telling us no more cure for the blight, that the new terror disease that we get there. And we found out from the organic guys that as long as the plant get the right nourishment, it would never get sick. So we tried the sand, the black sand, or something like green sand. We tried that. We tried the seaweed, and the seaweed when it rots, you turn into sand. Yeah, you turn black, yellow first, then black, then it turn back into sand. The seaweed, it rots.
Wow.
And that's good for like that's what something like lime. You need that. After you use the soil too much, you gotta put in nourishment. Like after 2 years, what we're doing right here, we've been using this for the past 22 years in soil. So now what we're doing is we're chipping the trees and throwing the chips in. And the seaweed. Yeah.
Which organic guys do you work with?
We get Stefan and
we're under the Hawaii Farm Organic. What is that? The Hawaii Farmers Organic thing. And because they used our taro as a sample, and couple years in 2006, they came here. They did the first soil sample. So that's the kind of help we get from them. They go soil sample for us.
Is that the University Extension?
Yeah. I don't know who it is, but this is Hawaii Organic. There's a bunch of farmers. I think they bring some scientists in
we
and
work
stuff.
with our own farmers here.
Like,
This guy, Stefan, he's he's like a plant scientist. He's good into it.
He is a scientist.
So we kind of like educate us on that. We kind of take theory from him on certain things. But the opihi shell and all that, we find out for ourselves that the disease just disappeared. And that's what I've been telling other farmers.
Then in 2010, the bunch of Maui Kipahulu guys again came back again, and they went soil test again. And then what they found that we had more nutrients today than we had the beginning. So they use our place as a soil testing place with taro.
We're gonna use poison
And
chemical fertilizer.
yeah,
That's what we do here, mostly organic. And bananas, or different kind of bananas.
and we did put more fruit stuff, but then the cows kept coming in sometimes.
And we try like like under the mango trees, where you get big area that the weeds grow slow. We put like a puholi, like the fern shoot right there. And we find that that type of plant take over the under of the brush faster than any other plants that you can eat. And it's a high quality fern for health.
Demand
Everybody's in real big demand.
salad.
I find under that kind of tree that things go faster. Under the tree.
You say noni tree.
Under the mango trees, these big mango trees, right? Yeah, you put 1 or 2 plants under one, maybe 1 acre pot. In about a year to 2, the thing take over. So, this is a good idea. That's why I do it now.
And we love it. The people, when they come, go pick up, and they take home. And it's been all good for you, good usages.
Anything that you can eat,
Eat.
you should keep.
Yeah.
Like we have sweet potato leaves, good, like spinach, and we have we call it tokai. I don't know if you know, like the tamaron, you call it. You get some with needles, and not on right, you don't have needles. The yam shoots when they grow, when you kind of like till the ground, that thing come up faster. So we kind of pick that and show the kids how to eat chili pepper shoots, all that. What kind of stuff you can eat when you call it? Fern shoots,
Yeah.
The kind of haupu, the haupu, it grows deep in the forest where they use it for planting orchids. They have the shoots of that. It's a gold thing too. But only thing when you boil it, and when you clean it, something like onion, boy, it burn your eye. So you gotta kind of put glasses. Oh, God was.
And then we teach our groups, we have some groups, not all the groups, but some of the groups, then we go gather and make lau lau. So they bring the pork, the meat, the chicken, and we provide the rest. And they go harvest and clean and wrap right here. We cover the table and
They're making their own
Yeah.
their own luau.
luau.
Palm point, you don't do the traditional way.
Yeah, but it's kind of a lot of work with this
But
man.
if you get too much, and then you're slaying them.
We'd love to do it for every book group, and eventually it should be that way, where you have certain days that you can have these kind of groups.
Oh,
But
exactly.
It's the entrance to come in is what we're concerned about, because if they come to the park, they free. But if they come to us, they gotta pay it, because we're the interpreters. See? We're the interpreters telling them about this place and our lifestyle.
What we're doing is good. About a couple of weeks ago, we started on the ocean park, so just in about a couple hours, we got that done.
Our point is to take care of this side of the stream,
Right.
so that we could take care all the way on this other end, because that's where the water source is coming for the village. That's why the organic word, when they wanted to use it for the kitchen, I told them no, because we weren't only like that, the way they thinking, yeah? We do pig, we do meat, we do all that stuff. We eat it. So,
Well,
yeah.
the current marketing word is local bars. You don't have to know what it means.
Yeah.
This means using your local
Yeah.
foods. Not necessarily
Yeah.
organic, but most local foods are. Is organic.
Back in the old days, this is what they used for a light. Kukui means light.
I didn't know those were the kukui.
And then the nuts, you can eat them. If you get congested, you have to use the bathroom. You eat one raw nut, it is clean your heart.
Really?
And good, that's good vitamin. You can make the oil you do for scalds. You don't get scalds. The thing take the scald away.
Really?
Even the kind of way.
Like if you eat it or you rub it on yourself?
You rub the oil on top. Even like the mothers when they get hapai, they get after the skin get kind of wrinkle, scars there like. And that's what they use the oil and that thing away. Then you come back a beautiful girl again.
So